So for this week's intro, I actually have more of a question than I do a story. Now the question is, if houses can be haunted, if buildings can be haunted, what's the place that most people die at? Hospitals. Now what we're talking about today is haunted hospitals.
Hello and welcome to La Cantina Podcast, where each week we talk about new and terrifying tales and experiences. My name is Tony, your host with the most, and today I'm accompanied by...
Austin, El Skeptico. I finally accepted it.
There you go, dude. That's all you had to do. Just one time.
I finally accepted. I just... Five stages of grief, you know?
Yeah. You have to, what is it? Accept, defeat, roll with it. That's not the 5 stages. Do not quote me. I'm just kind of going off.
I was going to say, that wasn't even 5 stages.
That was 3.
Now, anyway, haunted hospitals.
Haunted hospitals.
Now, the reason I'm super excited about this one is because we actually have a fan story today.
We do.
We do, and I'm super excited about it.
Yeah. Do you remember her name?
I do not. And I'm so sorry.
We'll clip your name into the video. Because, yeah, bad Tony.
Bad Tony.
Bad Tony.
Now,
but it is from the girls from Off Topic Podcast.
Off Topic Podcast. Yes. And if you guys haven't heard them, please go look them up. They're awesome.
Mm-hmm. Shout outs to all the girls.
Heck yeah, loving their podcast.
Mm-hmm. So, story time.
Story time. Well, first we got to go through some research. Now, my research was a little bit interesting for today.
I bet.
So, I have different types of haunting. Because I want to get that out of the way. I feel like that's important to understand that there's different types of haunting.
Right. There's your haunting, and there's your haunting.
Exactly. You got ghosts, poltergeists.
Yes.
Now, the first thing we're going to kick off with is
Yeah, totally understand that, yeah.
I didn't even understand that, Tony.
I didn't either. You're all right.
You know what? Cut that part.
You're cutting a lot today.
All right. I actually have a correction from last week's episode. That's another exciting thing. Somebody corrected me, which is awesome. That's what I've been looking for. Mm-hmm. Now, their username is a little bit long. It is @elephants_awesome 7568. And he said, or they said, this is really entertaining. Just so you know, it's pronounced Algonquin and not, like I was saying, Algonquin or whatever I said, from the Wendigo podcast.
Episode 11.
Yes,
you haven't checked it out?
Episode 11, where I wasn't sure how to pronounce it. And they helped me out with that, so that's super awesome. Thank you. It helps me out a lot.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, like I always say, if I'm ever inaccurate about something or say something wrong, please feel free to correct me. I love that stuff. It helps me out a lot. But anyway, we are talking about residual hauntings, and then we're going to move through the stages of hauntings.
Okay.
So residual haunting, I don't know why I'm having trouble with that word.
It's a big word.
So this happens when there's like a traumatic event, like a rape or murder, when the deceased person is basically on a loop, like a ghost loop, where they either experience the same thing over and over or a version of them does.
Okay.
Now, the entities, I'm having a hard time today. The entities are not aware of what's going on. Like I said, they're
off in
it's
like
either
limbo.
like a playback loop or something like that. So if somebody were to say like see a ghost loop, they wouldn't really be able to like get their attention and help them out or whatever it may be. The other version of a residual haunting is when you hear like laughter or parties or like screaming. That could be a residual haunting, where it's something so bad happened in that spot that it
just kind of repeats
itself over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Residual haunting's not the worst thing, but still wouldn't want to see it or hear it.
Yeah, I feel like what I'm getting out of that is like when somebody like gets in a car crash, or it's like a sudden death.
Yeah.
And they just kind of like, they don't accept it right away. That's
Yeah.
basically what it is now.
Yeah, something like super bad happens.
Right. And they just kind of stuck there like wondering why, or they weren't ready.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. Now, the next thing on the list is poltergeists. Now, we all know what poltergeists are, but I'm going to go through it anyway.
Might as well.
So, poltergeist is actually a German word for a noisy spirit. So, yeah, a little interesting tidbit there. So, most poltergeist activity is said to happen to females in their teens, which is something I thought was really interesting. And supposedly it's because females in their teens can unknowingly put out certain energies that attaches like more evil spirits or poltergeists to them, because just from like research and stuff that I found, females are a lot more in tune with that sort of thing than males would be. Okay. Now, obviously, poltergeists are also known for throwing stuff around, attacking people, making noise, being rowdy.
Right.
Noisy spirit.
Yeah, because when you said females, like every movie.
Yeah, it always seems to have a female that it
or,
happens to.
Or a teen, like in The Conjuring.
Yeah, exactly.
God, that was a great movie. I love those movies, dude.
Now, the next one I have for you is a demonic haunting.
Ooh.
Now, this is going to be fun because everybody loves demons, little kids get together at birthday parties and they go, let's summon demons.
Yeah, I don't know what little kids you're talking to, but yeah, that's kind of messed up.
So when a demon is haunting you, these are the things that could happen. That doesn't mean this is what's going to happen. It's what could happen.
Right.
Now, the first thing is an angelic figure will get you to commit something sinful.
Right, like something good. So
something shows up as like something good or light or, an angel, and it gets you to kill your neighbor.
Oh. Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a good twist.
Yeah, there's your twist.
I thought we were going to go like, oh, yeah, dude, it actually helps you out, helps you find some money here and there.
So some people believe that demons don't actually look like these screwed up creatures. They just present themselves as that.
Yeah.
They're just... They they're fallen angels. They look like angels. They just present themselves as something that they're not.
I thought it was because like once they became a fallen angel, like they got turned into like really ugly.
Yeah, so that's the other side of it. Is there's so many beliefs about it that I couldn't even name all of them.
Right.
But some believe that they're just fallen angels. But they present themselves as other things. Other people believe that the same thing, that when they were cast from heaven, that they were deformed or, lost any form of a body.
Mm-hmm.
Now, number 2 on the list is you may see an evil or horrific creature like Baal.
Oh, yeah.
With a cat, toad, and human head on a spider's body.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, check out episode 8.
Episode 8?
Mm-hmm.
Baal may or may not be a demon.
Don't lie to me, man. TikTok told me that was a thing.
I was hoping you'd catch on. Now, it is worth noting that it is said by some that this is not a demon's true form. So like I said, they present themselves as something that they're not. So, appearing to you as something evil might not necessarily be what they're going for, which kind of leads into what's the best way to explain this that makes sense?
Just roll with it.
Well, I'm just gonna keep it as they try to scare you because they like that.
Oh no, yeah. So okay, I think I know what you're trying to say. But they get like their energy and their power.
Yeah, they kind of feed off your fear.
Yeah, I've been told that they feed off fear.
Yeah.
So the more they can get you to get scared, or the more like you feed them energy, and then
I've always heard
grow.
The more power you give them, the more power they get.
Yeah. Like in
That's
every
kind
movie
of how I've always
that
been
they
told.
talk about, they're like, oh, don't feed into it. Don't give it power.
Yeah,
You're
just
better
ignore
than
it.
this. Yeah.
Yeah. So number 3, you may be followed by a black fog or mist
Or smell.
or smell. A lot of people say that,
Sulfur.
yeah, sulfur.
So if you wake up from a nightmare,
I don't know what brimstone smells like,
I don't
but
know.
I've heard a couple times that you can smell brimstone.
yeah, I don't know what that is. It's the first I ever heard of that. But I do know that like sulfur. I didn't know this for a long time.
Yeah.
But sulfur's like smells like rotten egg.
Yeah.
Like a
Oh, yeah.
really
Sulfur
foul.
smells not good.
Yeah. So if you wake up at 3:00 in the morning from a nightmare and you smell rotten eggs, you did not fart. That's a demon.
Demon done crawled out of my butthole.
That is a demon.
All right. So the next thing is you may see shadow people or creatures.
Explain, like elaborate a little bit. With the
So
creature
shadow
parts.
people is like, we got a shadow on the wall.
No, like, yeah, I understand. I
So
think
that'd be like a disembodied shadow.
right. But like, what do
Thing.
you mean by creatures?
But creatures, it could be anything from, a cat to a dog to a duck.
Why'd you have to start with cat, bro?
There's one actually that this made me think of, and I think it's in California, but there's a ghost bear that they talk
right.
about. Yeah, there's sightings of a ghost bear out there. Yeah. So you can see creatures as well.
Okay.
So
No, I actually do. I get that. Yeah, I get that. I forgot what movie I seen it in, but it was like a creature. I can't think of it right now.
yeah, and it, I can't remember what movie it is, but there's a movie where there's like a demon thing and you can see its eyes and hear it growl, but there's no actual body. And that's kind of what that made me think of.
Annabelle? No, in Annabelle you can actually see the demon.
I don't know.
Dude, so sorry to get you off this weird transition.
No, go for it.
Okay, so the other day I was watching Annabelle because it's on Netflix.
Nice.
So I've watched that movie a handful of times, right?
Yeah.
But I started picking up, they like leave subtle hints
Okay. About what?
of like the demon. Like you can actually see the demon multiple times in that movie.
What?
Yeah, dude.
No way.
Yeah.
Dude, I
Right
gotta
now that
go
you're
watch
talking about
Annabelle
it,
now.
Yeah. So, okay, so there's this scene, or the part of the movie where they like, you know what happens. Like that movie's been out forever. If you have not watched that, shame on you.
There's no point doing spoiler alerts.
Yeah. There's no spoiler alerts here. You haven't watched it, get out of the rock. But anyways,
Watch La Cantina, then go watch Annabelle.
then come back.
Then come back.
But the scene, it's like where they're in the new like the hotel. You know how they live in their house?
Oh, yeah,
And then
yeah.
they leave
Yeah, and they go to the
the
hotel.
hotel thing.
Yeah.
Apartment, whatever it is. So they live on the 6th floor. That's one.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
6th floor. And then there's a scene where she's like with the baby, she had the baby, whatever. And then there's music playing. Randomly just starts playing on the recording, on the
Okay.
record thing,
Yeah.
right? So she goes out, walks to the thing, turns it off, leaves. When she leaves, as she gets out of like the view or the room and the wall, and I'm telling you, go watch it and you'll see what I'm talking about.
We're going to have to do a video reaction to this. I got to see this stuff.
Yeah. Dude, I would show you, but my phone died.
Yeah, you're good.
But I'll show you some other day. But then on the wall where the vinyl record thingy, what is that thing called?
The record player?
Yeah, record player. Sorry. I thought there was like an actual word for it.
Oh, okay.
But the record player, on top of the record player, there's like a picture frame and it looks like a glass mirror thing. You can see the reflection off of it, right?
Yeah.
So when she walks out, you see something just like move there, right where the record thing is at.
Oh.
Yeah, and then it hits play again, and you see it walk away. So homegirl comes back in, right?
Right.
And she's like, "What the like?" Basically giving you that like, "What the fuck?" Like I just turned this off. Why is this playing? You know,
Yeah.
that would be my reaction. But like, the fuck?
Yeah.
And then the camera kind of pans out, and you can see like the curtains.
Right.
In the curtains, if you pay close attention, the demon is right there. You see the shadow of the demon in the curtains.
What?
Yeah, dude.
No way.
Yeah, because then the window wasn't open. Like it wasn't open; it was closed.
Right.
But the window's open, and right there you see the shadow of the demon.
No way. I love subtle hints like that in movies,
Dude,
especially
there's like
horror
so
movies.
much. Yeah, I was watching it the other day, and I was like, I'm gonna watch Annabelle, like, cause my mom was watching it.
Yeah.
And then I didn't get to finish it, so I went back and like watched it.
Right.
And I was like, "What the fuck? Like, are my eyes deceiving me, or am I seeing this shit right now?" Like, I don't remember this part of the movie.
That is crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, little spin off just because you were saying that, but yeah.
Yeah, no.
they do
yeah,
appear.
shadow people. Boom, right there. In Annabelle. Shadow people. Bam. That's a demonic haunting.
Yeah. So there's like a lot of subtle hints in those movies.
Right.
You just gotta
That's
like
crazy.
look for them in a way.
Dude, there was, sorry, I'm going to keep on this tangent. In one of the Conjuring movies, you know when like the chair starts rocking and the demon shows up like on top of the like
It's
the
on
dresser
Annabelle,
thing?
I think. Oh, yeah, no. The first one. You're talking about the first
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, you know how long it took me to realize that there was like this demon creature lady thing up there?
Really?
Yeah, dude. Because I like, loud music goes off and everything, and I'm like looking around like, where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at?
It's on top of the drawer.
And then finally I was watching it one day, and I'm not even thinking about it. Loud music goes off, and I look up and I just see a face. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, dude. There's a lot. I want to watch it. Like, I want to rewatch them. Probably going to do that sometime this weekend.
Now I want to rewatch them.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy.
Dude, like the scene where the sheet flies off and it like takes the shape of a person and blows away.
Yeah.
Oh, that scared the crap out of me.
First one.
Yeah.
Dude, it's nuts. Sometimes I'm like, how did I not catch none of this?
Oh, I know.
Yeah. There's a lot.
Like there's another hidden detail in the first Conjuring where you can see somebody hanging from the tree in the background. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know if that's like a hidden detail.
No, you can see it. But it's like it's Lorraine.
Like,
she's like outside by the tree.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
The feet just kind of hang.
Oh, no. There's another scene where like they're inside the house and there's like the window that you can see the tree out of.
Oh, really?
And you can see somebody swinging from it.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Did not see that. I'm going to rewatch that.
Yeah, you're going to have to rewatch it. It's crazy. That's the only one I really picked up from it.
Yeah.
Other than the lady.
The Annabelle one, though, dude.
Yeah, that's insane. No, the other one for hauntings is portals or ley lines.
Yeah, I actually get that.
Yeah, so now
hold on.
Ley lines.
Anything can be a portal, especially mirrors.
Yes, that was actually a big one. I was going to say mirrors are heavily believed to be portals.
Mm-hmm. Don't pick up the mirror from the antique store. Don't.
Yeah, whether it's getting something to leave or getting something to come in.
Mm-hmm. Did you know that you could have something leave if you point the mirror to your door?
Why would I do that?
Dude, it's a thing. But then if you have a mirror in front of your bed, it's like welcoming spirits in.
And then they'll fill the pelvis. Shout out to Luigi.
Yeah, shout out to Luigi. I hope you're okay.
Yeah, so ley lines are like a grid pattern across the earth where people say where it intersects is where portals can open up, where things... So there's some people that believe that ghosts are beings from like other dimensions that come through. And other people are like, yeah, they got unfinished business, yada, yada. They're just ghosts. Mm-hmm. So it depends on which side you believe. So ley lines are like a grid pattern across the earth. Where they intersect is where portals can open. Portals are, the first thing I thought of was Rick and Morty.
Yeah, no. Did you know that the one, like, just because you're on the portal thing, and I just want to point it out, but the Mackey Saloon?
What?
The Mackey House? The Mackey Saloon?
I don't know if I know about that.
No, it talks about that. Like, it's an actual place. And, like, their basement is like a portal to hell, supposedly. But a lot of activity happens there. Okay. I'll put a picture on the screen somewhere so you guys know what I'm talking about. And we'll do an episode about that.
That would be interesting. I'd love to do that. So anyway, like I was saying, portals are said to be doorways to other dimension in which entities can travel. So with that being said, my best guess is that today we're talking about intelligent hauntings, which was the most important thing. So my best guess with the fan story is that we're going to be talking about intelligent hauntings because, well, you're going to find out here in a second.
Yeah.
Now, intelligent hauntings is basically like the ghost knows what's going on. They got like unfinished business. They realize they're dead. They're just hanging out,
All right.
Party time.
They don't mean to scare you, but they're going to have fun.
Well, they might mean to scare you.
They might, depends.
They might mean to, they might not mean to. Who knows? But with all that being said, now we understand the types of hauntings. Now I want to move into arguably one of the most haunted hospitals in America, at least. Mm-hmm. Penthurst Asylum.
Where's that at?
Well, it is in my notes.
Oh, sorry. Why does that sound so familiar?
So Penthurst Asylum is in Pennsylvania, I think. I have it somewhere in my notes. So it was Penthurst Asylum was known for abuse amongst the patients as far as like tying them down. There was one place that said something about lobotomies that shouldn't have been done, and just a lot of screwed up abuse from the staff toward the patients. Mm-hmm. So Penthurst Asylum is in Chester County, Pennsylvania. So it is in Pennsylvania. It was opened in 1908, and it was a school/hospital for the physically handicapped.
Oh.
Or insane people. Mm-hmm. One of the two. Back then, in 1908...
It was rough.
It was rough. There wasn't a difference.
Yeah.
Between,
like if you were just...
Like there was an article that said about Penthurst that said it was for non-citizen worthy people.
Mm-hmm. Like if something was
and they were like
you.
super proud of that.
Yeah.
So I mean, not a great time to be around. Yeah. So some of the things that have happened at the asylum are voices saying like, "Go away, I'll kill you," and "Why won't you leave?" Like begging them to get out of there, like ghost hunters that go in there and stuff like that. As well as like shadow people appearing and disappearing, random things being moved or thrown around, or crazy normal like poltergeist haunting activities. Yeah, so stuff's moving around with like no physical interaction at all. Mm-hmm. So something's moving it, but it ain't you. As well as physical attacks. There was one article I read that somebody ended up with huge scratches across their back going through Penthurst Asylum.
Wow.
Yeah. And also something that I wanted to throw in there, because this is one of my favorite bands, but Motionless in White actually did a full concert in front of Penthurst Asylum.
Why?
Why not?
What?
Motionless in White is kind of like this almost like goth kind of band, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. And if anybody's curious, I listen to like heavier rock, like heavy metal, down to like I'm talking like Falling in Reverse, Odd Time Low, Bring Me the Horizon, those type bands. Mm-hmm. So Motionless in White did a concert there that I watched on YouTube that was just absolutely incredible in front of Penthurst Asylum.
Oh, this is a band?
This is the band.
Yeah, that explains a lot.
As soon as you see them, you're like, oh, okay. Yeah. I get it.
That explains. Oh.
Now, don't let the picture fool you. I've never met these guys, and I actually hope to one day. But they are some of the like nicest people you'll meet.
Oh, yeah, I bet. It's probably just like the costume and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Dress attire.
Yeah. So, I mean, they look scary. They look weird. They're super nice.
Yeah. It's almost like, don't they say that the guys from Slipknot are like really nice people?
Yeah. Yeah. Like Corey Taylor is super cool. Mm-hmm. Anything I've heard about him, he's a super cool guy.
Yeah. But they look like fucking crazy.
Yeah. They got the crazy masks and stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Motionless in White did a concert there.
Wow.
And I get to shout out one of my favorite bands. So that's super cool.
Right. But I mean, I guess I can't really say much because like we do have the Saltaire.
Saltaire is said to be super
like
haunted.
Really haunted.
Yeah. And we also have Asylum 49, which is another hospital that I wanted to bring up. In Utah, we have Asylum 49. It's like a haunted house that is said to be actually haunted as well as being an attraction.
Yeah, and we're actually planning to make a full episode about that.
I would love to.
Because there's a lot of... I've heard personal experiences from there.
Now, here's the other thing about Penthurst Asylum, okay? Mm-hmm. One of arguably the most haunted places in America is the same thing as Asylum 49. It's a haunted house.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No fucking
Yeah,
way.
where they're getting like stuff's moving on its own, to physical attacks, to hearing voices. And they're like, you know what? People are going to pay to go through this thing, and we're going to scare the crap out of them. And then a ghost is going to follow them home. Like, they have a little tote bag that says free ghost. They don't actually have a tote bag that says free ghost, but that would be pretty great.
If they're hearing this, I mean, great marketing scheme, you know?
Now, with all of that being said, everything we've talked about with haunted hospitals, what type of haunting there is, it is time to get into our fan story.
Yeah, and if you want this to be you, all you got to do is just like them, send us an audio recording. We do have the audio recording.
We are going to post the audio recording of the lady that sent this in. I just wrote it down because it was easier for me.
Yeah. So we will clip it somewhere. I'll give you guys a little taste.
We are gonna post it, definitely. We are gonna do that. Now, before we move on to the fan story, I do have a little thing from our sponsor.
Oh, okay.
We have been shopping around for a while for a local business with the quality we need for all the crazy merch ideas we have with the show. And that is where 7 Gremlins comes in. They have a high quality product at a low cost, and I made the decision super easy. So if you would like to get a hold of the 7 Gremlins team to make you an awesome sticker or clothing idea, you can find 7 Gremlins at 7gremlinscreations@outlook.com.
Shout outs to you, 7 Gremlins.
7 Gremlins. Now, on to the fan story.
Back on track.
So this isn't my story. This is a story that I heard from another staff member. But I and the rest of the girls of our podcast used to work in a residential program, which was really great. However, part of, working at the residential program included grave shifts, which could get kind of spooky because, you'd walk around the building and there would be cold spots. There'd be certain offices where you'd walk in and you just feel like you're being watched. You just feel uncomfortable. Now with the new security system, there's constantly orbs in certain locations that you see all the time, especially at night. So it just gives spooky vibes. Not to mention, there's always you'll be sitting in the office when the residents are asleep and you'll hear something move in the kitchen. And I'm not saying there's a fan on or their air conditioning and something like a paper falls off the table. No, I'm talking about a shift in pots and pans or in our pantry cabinet, in the kitchen, or those sorts of things that you were just what's that noise? Literally, I have no idea what could have made it. But anyways, going back, I'm not prone to spooky things. I don't know if they just don't like me. I don't mind it. I don't like spooky things interacting with me. It's fine. But for this particular incident, there was a resident of that program where they found out that him and his family practice some sort of spirituality connected to spirits and ghosts or spirit guides, something of that nature, where they're kind of witchy. It's not Santeria. It was something else, and the staff member could not remember the name of the religion. However, we know that resident was connected to it. And in our building, at least where we were, there was a letter L of hallways. We were co-ed residential program. So on, let's say it's a reverse L. So there's one hallway that goes up and down, and then one hallway that goes left and right. Basically, there's 2 hallways that connect. One goes right to left, the other one goes up and down. They connect on a corner. And there's a staff office that sits right in between those 2 hallways. Point is, you can basically monitor both hallways through one door. But there was 3 staff members. They were playing cards because we hated doing the notes, the documentation notes at the very end of the night, and whoever lost kind of had to do the notes. So there was 3 staff members playing cards, trying to divvy out the notes before they had to leave for the end of the night. It was probably around 10 o'clock. Shift ends at 11. Minding their own business. All the kids are asleep. And all of a sudden, out of the corner of their eye, they see a girl, dark black hair, hair in front of their face, kind of rush down to the restroom at the end of the hall. And their thought is, okay, great. There is a resident that's not following the rules. I'm going to go talk some sense into them. They're not supposed to be doing this. Especially because that description matched one of the current residents of the program. So they go off, they walk down to the restroom or walk down the hallway, and they kind of yell. They're like, hey, we'll just say, I don't even know what the resident's name was, but like, hey, S, you know you're not supposed to be awake right now. What are you doing? And she pops her head out of her room, not out of the restroom, and says, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I had to, like, just get up to find a hair tie or something. I didn't mean to. And clearly, right, that resident was not the one that walked down that hallway. So they're like, okay, what the fuck? That was weird. They're all kind of sketched out, just waiting, counting down the minutes for the grave shift to come through. Didn't tell the grave shift anything. They're like, yeah, everything was fine. There's nothing of note. We're leaving. Bye. So they left. And then the next day, the staff members come. One of the staff that worked, they clopened, right? They worked to the swing shift in the afternoon, and then they worked the morning shift the next morning. So when the residents are getting up at the breakfast table, everybody eats together. They, you make small talk. You're like, oh, how did you sleep? Did you have any dreams? Blah, blah, blah. One of the residents was like, oh my God, I couldn't sleep. And they asked, okay, well, what was it? Like, what happened? Why couldn't you sleep? And he's like, there was somebody that running down the hallway all night. And I tried to tell the staff members, and they didn't do anything. They said they didn't believe me, but I couldn't go to sleep. And so, of course, they asked, they're like, okay, well, who did you see? Who was running down the hallway? And he's like, it was the same. He described to a T exactly what the other staff member had seen the night before they left. Creepy. If you're wondering if they saw it again, they didn't. The resident that disclosed that they were connected to that sort of spiritual, whatever religion, left that day. So we think potentially it was attached to them, but you never know. That's the story.
That is all I have on hauntings.
Dude,
now,
that's crazy.
I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know you've told me about the soda can, or the soda being poured. But other than that, and your Grinch story, what's the craziest ghost thing that happened to you?
The craziest ghost thing that's happened to me? I don't know. That was kind of it for the most part. There was a couple of other incidents.
There was one I remember you telling me about.
What?
About whoever it was that came to your house and put up all the mirrors. Yeah,
I told you guys about.
Oh, you told that on the podcast already?
Yeah, I already told that.
Yeah, that was a crazy story. That one I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad I only have like one mirror in my house.
Yeah, I said that on. I can't remember what episode right off the bat, but I'll clip it somewhere in here. But yeah, no, there was on the topic of hospitals, my mom, and she's listening.
Wait. What? It's time for Tony's take.
Oh. All right, so on today's part of the, how do I say that? On today's segment on Tony's take, I was actually talking to my mom over the week, and I asked her, because she had told us when we were younger that my Aunt Raina, and my Uncle Bobby, they like all this stuff. Like, that's where my niche came in.
Nice.
Because like anything horror, my Uncle Bobby would always tell us, to scare us or just to tell us, It was
Uncle
great
Bobby!
Yeah. He's going to come on. We're just trying to figure out the scheduling with both of us. So, They were telling us one time that they actually went to an abandoned like hospital up like in the avenue somewhere. I don't know exactly where it was at, but I remember this story like kind of like in detail.
Yeah.
And I remember my mom, she said she didn't want to go, and they talked her into it, or like they actually did it or whatever.
Okay.
And same thing, like they walked into the hospital and like there was a wheelchair and stuff like that, and they could actually see stuff move.
Oh.
I tried to get my mom to tell me like the full story, but she's like, no, I'm not going to tell you.
That must have been a friggin' story then.
Dude, it like when I try to remember it and like exactly what they said,
Yeah.
it was pretty nuts. Like they saw shadows, they heard stuff.
Oh, man.
Like it was wicked, like things.
See, I'm so glad I don't have any experiences like that.
Dude, it's crazy. Like my mom, she was starting to tell me like the stories, and then she's like, no, I can't tell you.
All right, this is what happened. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, she was doing that to me a lot. And I was like, come on, just tell me a story. But I'm gonna try to get my mom on here too.
That would be awesome.
Say more, but
I got to meet Tony's creator.
yeah, the creator, Tony's Take. But to add on to Tony's Take, there is a movie that I want to share with you guys.
All right.
That involves it's scary. That's actually
Ace Ventura.
No,
Damn
not
it.
that scary. It's called Grave Encounters. As you're like dying over there. What is like Grave Encounters a trigger word for you?
No, I just yell Ace Ventura and you're like, not that scary. And I just imagine Jim Carrey in a tutu playing his football thing in reverse.
Oh my God. No, the scene from that is like when he walks into the club and he starts doing that little dance. That's the thing that caught me. I was like, no, not that crazy. But anyways, back onto the thing. It's called Grave Encounters.
Okay. That sounds super familiar.
So it's a movie about basically like ghost adventures. Like it's a group of guys that they go do a paranormal investigation at an asylum.
Wait.
Where like the doctor.
Are they called the SPRS?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what they're called.
Carry on.
But they go into this asylum where it's like haunted.
Okay.
But like they have like a show, but they've been faking their show.
Now, hold on. Does it look kind of like this? Because I forgot to share the picture of Penhurst Asylum with you. Does it do any of these pictures remind you of it?
No.
Swipe
Oh, swipe.
to the left. Or you're right.
No. No,
Well,
I wasn't like that.
That is Penhurst Asylum, and we'll put him up right now.
Yeah, because you forgot.
Because I forgot.
Yeah, I'll go back and add pictures, so it's cool. But anyways, no, it did not look like that. I forgot where they said they went to go film it because it's a movie.
Right. So is it like a documentary movie?
Yeah, but it's not a documentary. It's like a movie. It's like it uses CGI and all that stuff.
Wait. Oh, what's it called again?
Grave Encounters.
And it's on Netflix?
No,
What's
it
it?
was a while ago.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
They're all like a bunch of they
look exactly
ragtag type deal.
No,
They
no.
all hop into a van
Yes.
and then go to a hospital.
Yes.
And then they got like a bunch of crappy gear and stuff. And one of the guys is like a video store clerk, and he like borrows a camera from the video store.
No.
No? Oh,
No, these guys were like actually like legit. They had like a TV production with them and everything.
okay.
But like they were just like a group of friends or whatever, and they had like this medium guy that would just bullshit his way through everything. You know, like how you say like, "Oh, I don't believe in mediums because I feel a presence right here." He would
Yeah,
just
that's
fake that
bullshit.
shit. Yeah. No, he would like actually like, they would be taking takes for their show, and like they would cut, and he's like, "Man, I'm sick and tired of this shit." And he would smoke a cigarette right
dude,
there.
this sounds so familiar.
Yeah, and then they like interview the groundskeeper there.
Okay.
And then they ask him like, "Oh, is it scary?" And this is like the funny part of the movie. He's like, "Is it scary in there? Have you had any encounters?" He's like, "No." He's like a Hispanic guy. Obviously, he had to be a Hispanic guy. But he's like, "No, nothing." And then they're like, "Okay, we're gonna give you $100. Just say it's scary." And then they go back and like they do the interview again. And then he's like, "Have anything ever happened to you? Like, have you been touched or whatever?" Like, and the guy just stops. He's like, "Yeah. It's really scary." Yeah, dude. And like, so like basically they're just BSing their stuff just to get ratings on their show.
Right.
but then it takes a wild turn.
Okay.
So it starts getting like, it's actually haunted. That place is actually haunted.
Uh-huh.
And it starts like weird shit starts happening. Like stuff like moving, batteries start dying, like your typical normal, like.
Right. Normal haunting stuff.
Yeah. So like all their equipment fails. And then after that, it starts getting heavier and heavier. So they think it's like 7 a.m. so someone can come open the door.
Uh-huh.
It's only been an hour that they were in that place.
Oh, gosh.
And they go through doors, portals. They go through doors. They go back through that door, same door, and they're in a different spot.
Oh.
They open a door and they're in the basement.
Huh. Okay.
It's like really, really crazy. It's a good movie though.
Right.
I 10 out of 10 recommend that one.
So it's like a serious horror movie, or it's like a comedy horror movie?
No. It's serious, but
okay.
it just has that funny scene.
Right,
He's like,
right.
It's
okay.
scary.
See, the one I was thinking of was it's like a comedy.
No.
Like they go to a hospital and there's like a bunch of hillbilly dudes like cooking meth in there, and they think it's actually haunted. And that movie's hilarious. I'll try to find it so we can post it.
No.
Gotta go watch that one. That was funny.
No, this one's, like I said, it's called Grave Encounters, and they actually like.
Okay.
It's like actually scary. Other than that one part where they asked the gardener.
It's really scary.
It's really scary. I died when I first saw them. I was dying.
That's like, awesome, oh dude. I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
I'll give you $100 if you say it's scary. Dude, it's terrifying.
I got touched. But yeah, like they get scratched. They get all that stuff. Dude, they're like, one of the girls is like in a bathtub and like it fills up with blood and she's like drowning in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's nuts.
See, my wife can't do blood. Anything that's too bloody, she's just not for it.
Like it doesn't show blood right away because it's like a night camera.
Right.
Like it looks legit. It looks like if you're watching Ghost Adventures,
yeah.
It looks like that.
Right.
But like it's like mixed in with behind the scenes, but it's a movie. It's not really real.
Right.
Yeah, but that's one of the like asylum things that I saw.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like
Go
it.
Go watch it and then let me know in the comments below what you thought. The ending is like really like, it's like mind blowing.
It was all a dream.
No, it was true.
Oh.
Someone goes missing. And there's a part 2 to that movie. There's Grave Encounters where the guy, and then part 2 is another ghost crew that goes in there looking for that guy.
And then they all go missing.
Basically, yeah. It's really fucked up. But it's a good movie. Now you're thinking.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of that movie. That's gonna bother me now.
No, I'll post the picture here.
Anyway, could you imagine like going to a hospital and you're just laying in there, laid up in bed with like a broken arm or a broken leg or something like that, and you just like you forget your super soaker and there's a ghost in there.
There's no priest around.
There's no priest, no holy water, no holy pee-pee. Nothing. No mames.
No mames. You've ever been like exploring in a hospital?
No. I've done technically urban exploring, I guess. I've been through like abandoned houses, but I've never been through like abandoned hospitals or anything like that.
No. I'm talking about like a legit hospital.
Oh, like exploring?
Yeah.
Well, when I was a kid, I had appendicitis really bad and ended up in the hospital for a while. And I remember doing a bit of exploring. I remember they had a life-size Spider-Man statue that I like fell in love with. Uh-huh. But that's the only time that I was in a hospital long enough to like actually explore.
So, you know how we recently had our baby? Like my wife had the baby 3 months ago. So we would go to the hospital quite a bit because like just to, like we'd get scared and like we'd go in.
Yeah.
For personal stuff. And then
that's smart.
So we were in the ER, and this kind of ties in because I just remembered about this. Uh-huh. We were in the ER, and I was talking to some of the nurses. It was like when the show had barely started. And I was like, hey, like I have this podcast, whatever. Do you guys have any scary stories? Like, has anything happened at the hospital? Oh. And one of the nurses, she's like, yeah, actually, I have a couple of colleagues that had something happen. I'm not going to name the hospital, but it's a famous hospital here in Utah.
Utah Valley.
No.
Dang it.
No.
UU?
I'd rather not say.
It's UVU, isn't it?
But anyway, she said that there's like this part of the hospital wing where it's like kind of like what you were saying, like not the silent part because I don't think they have one, but like
No, I
Intensive, like long stay, like long stay.
I think they do. Not really asylum, but more like safe.
Anyways, there's like
place.
this part of the hospital that they did see like shadow people walking around.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah, that they would see like shadows and stuff like that.
Dude, could you imagine like a ghost brings in a Jell-O cup to you?
I would be confused.
I'd be like,
there's a video that I did see, and I'll post it here on the video for YouTube. But there's a video I saw on TikTok where the same thing, like the dude broke his hand and they were in the ER or whatever.
right.
And they saw like this little girl just walking back and forth in the hallway. Yeah, dude.
Throw stuff at him. Preferably a super soaker.
Dude, but then, so like they heard it laughing.
Oh.
And it like went into a room. It went into a room, but that room was empty. So I think homeboy's wife got curious and she said, "What was that? Like, is that little girl lost?" You know what I mean? And she went out to look for it and see what happened. No, that was my shoe. You were not getting haunted. Like,
I was not looking I was not looking for a ghost, Tony, okay?
but anyway, she like walks out and starts looking for like this little girl that's potentially lost. She goes in, like she's walking towards I think it was like 2 rooms down.
Right.
And she starts hearing growling. She's like, "What the hell?" But she still goes because, you know, the curiosity
That
kills the cat.
sounds like demonic.
Yeah, curiosity kills the cat. So she went, and she like got to the room and she heard the growling and then it stopped. And then she like turned. No one was there.
Ugh.
But they did see
like
a little girl go into that room.
See, there's one thing. I'm not scared of an awful lot, okay?
Mm-hmm.
One thing that scares the crap out of me is dolls.
Oh, I hate dolls, dude.
I don't know why, but I cannot do dolls. Like, my daughter will be playing with dolls, and if I see that shit in the dark, I'm kicking it as hard as I can.
Dude, so you know how my sister-in-law
No Annabelle shit.
was living there with us?
Yeah.
Or like we like lived together or whatever?
Yeah.
Her boyfriend bought my niece like a tall fucking Little Mermaid doll. Dude, it looked creepy.
Burn
as
it.
hell. Yeah, that's what I told him. I was like, dude,
Set it
wherever
on
you guys, yeah, because
Kill her with fire.
dude, I was like, if I ever see that doll like not in the place where you guys leave it, like I need to sit down, like family meeting real quick. Where are you guys gonna put this doll? And I was being serious. I was like, where are you gonna put this doll?
You just handcuff the doll to her bed.
No, dude. She's like, no, we're gonna leave her here. And I was like, if I see this doll move from here, like that doll's gone. Cause it was creepy, dude. Like it looked creepy. Like,
Yeah.
damn, I had never seen a mermaid doll look that creepy. But
Did it move?
I don't know, dude. I never fucked around and found
Dude,
out.
I have like a sick curiosity with that though. Because I'm like, God, I could go out and get like a porcelain doll and see what happens, or get like an old doll and see what happens. But I don't want to be like Robert the doll or Annabelle, you know? I would rather not.
I know, dude. I wouldn't. But speaking of that, my sister-in-law did share a story with me to share.
Okay, let's hear
What
it.
happened to her? So she moved, right?
Okay.
She like, got her own place with her boyfriend or whatever. And she said everything was nice and calm, you know? And that the other day, she was in her room and like she has view of the kids' room, right? And that she was home alone, like her boyfriend had left to work or whatever.
Yeah.
And she, like I think she said with the corner of her eye, she saw someone running back and forth from the closet to the kids' room. Yeah, a little kid, right?
Okay.
Just running back and forth. And she could see her whenever she'd get ready, like at her table.
Yeah.
She sees it. And then she looks over, but she doesn't see it anymore, you know?
Okay.
This is where it gets a little crazy. So, again, like that happened. And then she had this weird dream with this woman in her dream that like showed up to her. And then she woke up confused. But she like said she was like more like sleep paralysis type thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then she just kind of like, okay, whatever. But like she like told her boyfriend about it. And he's like, no, you're just, you know, it's nothing. Just let it go, whatever.
It's fine.
Yeah. And then she said that, again, her boyfriend left. And they were like, my niece, she gets up, like she'll walk around and starts playing with her toys and whatnot.
Right.
She's a little like 3-year-old, 3
Little
or 4-year-old.
thing.
Yeah.
No, I met her.
Yeah. You remember her. She
Yeah.
just wanders and just explores, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And I guess she wakes up that morning. She woke up and she was doing her thing, playing, whatever. And I guess my sister-in-law said that she heard her arguing. Yeah. And dude, my niece has sass, like sass to the max.
It's about the same as my
sassy.
daughter.
Yeah, dude, she's sassy, and she was just arguing back and forth. Like my sister-in-law said she could just hear her like going back and forth, like with sass.
Okay.
And then that my sister-in-law comes into the room, and she's like, "Who are you talking to?" Like her brother's not home because he went to school.
Yeah.
She's like, "Who are you talking to?" And then she's all like, And then she just kind of played off. She's like, "No one." And then
Ghost is like, "Don't fucking tell her, dude. I'll cut you."
She asked her again, and she's like, "Somebody." So she's obviously talking to somebody. Like she said that she was arguing like with that person or with that little ghost.
Right.
Yeah. So I told her, I was like, if anything else happens, let me know. But when she was telling me, I was like, what the hell?
Dated. Heck yeah. Well, thank you everybody for listening. If you want to find us on social media other than wherever you found this podcast, you can go to
TikTok is La Cantina Podcast. Everything's just La Cantina Podcast, like this show.
La Cantina Podcast. Just do a general search. You'll find us. Please give us a like and share, thumbs up, subscribe, all that fun stuff. If you liked us, please leave a review too if you're listening on Spotify.
Yeah, it helps us reach more listeners. So
yeah.
There's one last announcement. If you would like to support the show in any way, there's actually a feature on Spotify where you guys can. And you guys can just click on that and see which one you guys want to do, and you guys are more than welcome to do that. It would be much appreciated from us. Oh, yeah. It'll help us bring you guys out more merch that we are working on to bring you guys soon. On merch. So there's going to be a lot of stuff coming. And like you said, you can find us anywhere you get your podcast. Leave us a review so we can get to the more listeners. Yeah, this has been Tony, your host with the most.
Austin, Skeptico.
I like that you embraced it, dude. That was great. All right, you guys have a great day.